I was just trying to make River more relatable. I spent far too long on his hair there, but I digress. This video here is going to be all about the tripods. Now, the developers a few days ago, before the release, did do their own little video on the tripods, and I know everybody's been soaking up all the different videos coming out there, but I thought I would do one focused on the tripods because I said I did. And while there's not a whole lot to them, there is a lot that has not been mentioned yet, and I did do some science on it, so I thought I'd go through it. Let's see now where to begin. I guess we'll begin with the computer here. To pick up your tripods, everybody knows you'll go here and you will go to the gear, and then down to the bottom is going to be your tripods here. With the 1.25 update that everybody gets, you'll get the Big Brother version here. Costs 2,999 gold doubloons. And then all you have to do, if you have the DLC, is claim the giraffe here. So there are some notable differences that we'll go to in a bit more detail here in a minute. But the main thing is the elevation on the left. This one's got medium elevation, and this one's got a high elevation. And the previous video I did on the DLC here, I did kind of show the differences, comparing them to the Jeep. It's not a massive difference, but it is kind of a nice little boost there you get there. They both do the 360-degree spin, and the only other attribute to these chairs is the installation noise, so low versus medium, and that's some of the stuff that I scienced. And when you go over to your storage here, we do have the slots now filled up with the equipment here, or the equipment slots here for the chairs. So you bring your binoculars. There's no really reason to bring both of these. So we're still going to have an empty equipment slot, because if you have the DLC, you might as well just be using the giraffe. You can place 10 stands on each map, so this works on all the maps. But if you bring both chairs, it doesn't give you 10 of each. Each chair counts towards that 10 limit, so you can't do 10 giraffes and 10 the Big Brothers. Each one will take up one of those slots. And if you see down in the bottom right, mine says 8 out of 10. And it doesn't matter if I switch to the other one. It's going to say 8 out of 10 regardless. So I just fast traveled over to a little camp here to where I have a tripod set up. So we'll use that one just to show some of the basics. And there's some tar over here that I might have to mark. Maybe we can use them to test a couple other things. So yes, if you do place a tripod on the map, it will stay there until you indicate otherwise to it. It does show up as a little marker here on the map, so you can find them fairly easily. To deploy them, you just select them out of your equipment, and then you right-click, and it will let you deploy. Now, this one says too close to another stand, because that's one of the limitations that they did put in, so you just can't, like, build a wall of them. The first thing I did when I came out here, I wanted to make them in a little circle, but no, you can't do that. But when you do deploy, it does this little green little matrixy thing, and that'll be it. All you do is walk up to it, E to climb in, into the chair you go, and then you have an excellent field of view. So we can go up here to see these tar. And it does stabilize your aiming. You hold the breath. It's a fairly steady thing. I don't actually know if it's the same as the stands that we have in the game. Originally, they didn't give you stabilization until you had the perk, really. But I haven't been able to test that because I can't really reset my perk. But anyways, it does give you a significant stabilization. So that helps there. To get down is the same button. It doesn't actually indicate any kind of reference to how do you get off of the chair, like on the HUD. But it does if you have like the thing in the bottom left or whatever, the little hints or something like that. It'll show you, but it's the same button to get out. And then to disassemble, you have to click on this little bag here. I think in the developer post they didn't actually mention that. They said that you just click on it, disassemble or something like that, but no, you actually have to highlight the little bag here that says take down. Okay, this might actually be perfect. We have a lonely elk out here that might be good for testing because there's a lot of questions about does the tripod spook animals and what does it do when you assemble it? That attribute about, you know, how noisy they are in comparison. So what we'll do is we'll use the noisier one, the big brother, and we'll do a couple experiments with this elk. Now, the number you're going to need to know is 50 meters. All right, so see how we're 70 meters away from that tripod? I should be able to, whoop, I just put it away. I kind of wish it like brought it out into his hands or something like that so you could tell you had it ready instead of just the icon. But see, I can deploy it here. As soon as I hit about the 50 meter mark, it goes red. Now, it went red before the 50 meter mark because I placed it in front of me. If I spin around, I can replace it again. So it's not where river's standing, it is where you're actually placing it. Because if I'm 50 meters here, I spin around, look, I can replace it. So, or I can place it down. You're looking at the 50 meter mark. Now, that is important because it also applies to some animals. Now, this is where some of the science has come in because about the spooking and the placing of these things. But there also appears to be a bug. Now, I am doing this in early access, so I don't know if it's going to be fixed by release or not. To my knowledge, I don't think they're going to have an update, but I'm not too sure. I just alerted this guy. I do want to get a little closer here, and I have blood, actually. So I must have been doing something around here. But I'm on hiker to make this a little easier, of course. I normally do hiker these days. So I'm going to sneak in a little closer just so you can see. Actually, I wonder if I can call him in because an elk's a very challenging animal. However, he's solo. I should be able to get close enough. Now, what I'm going to demonstrate first is actually I have to check something. Is you also can't place a tripod stand within 50 meters of an animal. Now, here's where it gets a little, like, I think it's a bug. It doesn't apply to all animals. And I'm going to demonstrate that a bit, or at least try to. So we're 74 meters out on this guy. I'm going to try and get a little closer. I haven't been able to pinpoint that in which animals it does it for and which animals it doesn't. There's just too many animals to test it on. The elk, it should apply to. So if I get within 50 meters of this elk, we get our stand out. I should be able to apply it here. Now he's walking towards us too. Now the thing is, I don't actually remember if it works on elk. I think it does. I'm pretty sure it does it on all elk, where you cannot place it. But here's the thing. Let's see if it goes red or not. I'll show you what I mean. Because it might be map dependent. Yeah, there it goes. Animal and vicinity. So I just hit the 50 meter mark of the elk. All right, so just a heads up there. You also cannot do that, but that is where sort of the bug comes into play because some animals you can. So we're actually going to take a look at that in a minute. Just remind me. But right now I cannot place it. But people ask a lot about the alertness and spooking of the animals. So if we do throw it down, funk, he's going to go. Oh, look at that. He didn't actually go alert. Ends up there. Typically they do. Let's see if we can make him go alert here without... The problem with testing this is when you move, is what will do the alertness. Here, let's try taking it down. He's not going to participate with us. Oh, there he goes. Yep, there's the alertness there. So that's one of the questions we get. Can you spook animals with the tripod stand? Typically, no. You really don't have to worry about it. Now, this is on hiker. But I did talk to the developers. I have been able to get a few questions off to them, both openly and also in like a direct message kind of way. And basically the answer is you shouldn't be able to spook them by placing. Let's just see again. See, he doesn't even notice it. And also the difficulty level does not apply to this. It's going to be the same depending on the difficulty. There, did that do it? Yeah, so see, you don't really have to worry too much about it. Now, this test guy here isn't the best example because he's a solo elk, and solo elks, like solo animals, seem like they don't have the herd around them to boost their alertness. So the solo animals are quite dull. If I was doing this to like an elk herd, they would alert every single time. As soon as I threw this down, they would go alert. So I'll find an elk herd, or we'll go to those goats and give it a whirl because he's not really too concerned about it. It is hard to test because to pick it back up, you got to move, and that will alert them. But what it does now, did that do anything? Yeah, that got him. So what's happening there is initially when I'm putting it down, we'll do it again. I'll see if I can spook him here, but I might not be. Yeah, there he goes. Now that was weird because I didn't actually tell it to pick back up again, but that might have been me missing a button. So the word is that you can't really spook with it, but you can, because what's happening, as far as I can science there, is when you place it down within a certain range. I also haven't been able to measure the range because that is sort of affected by difficulty. Because the different difficulties, the meter will fill up faster. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint the range on it. I don't even know if it's out to 100 meters though. It's hard to test on a hiker. As you can see, when I place it down, he doesn't even go alert. But what's happening is the alert meter's filling up. It's just not filling up enough to send him into the alert. So what happens is when I pick it back up again, his alert meter hasn't dropped enough yet. So that's why he's going alert when I pick it back up again. Because if you deploy, the little alert meter goes up a bit. If you pull the stand down, it'll go up as well. So if you do it fast enough, like I did there, sort of like 3 times, put it down, pick it up, put it down again, the alert meter will eventually build up to spook them. So he wasn't the worst test subject there, because I was able to show most of that. And but you will notice, yeah, the part you'll notice with the difficulty change is because if you're playing on default or hunter difficulty, their meters build up so much faster. So if you just place it once, they will most certainly go alert. And then if you pick it up quickly again, then you probably will spook them, but not necessarily. Like you don't really have to worry about it too much because you're not really going to be throwing the stand down and then picking up really quickly, right? This was just typically to see if I could spook them or not. There is some feral goats over here, so maybe we can use them for tests. Oh, and before I forget, you can pick up the elevated stands from the map just by pushing spacebar. And when you do it that way, they don't cause any kind of spooking or anything like that. So just heads up there if it ever comes up. If you want to pick up a stand that's over on that mountain and there's animals around it, you just do it from the map and it won't cause any sort of alertness or anything. So there's something there. It's only if the player's actually interacting with them. So that is actually the basics. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go up these goats because I don't think I've tested on goats to see if that 50 meter rule applies. So that's what I think. I think that's the only thing else I haven't really talked about. There isn't a whole lot to them. You place them, you jump up on them, you shoot them. Well, I guess the rest of the video I can talk about a few ideas because there's a bit of thinking outside the box that can happen with these. Like, you know, there's going to be a few strategies and a few things that we think about. Oh, look at that! I'm alerting those goats by quite a distance. I'm not going to be able to get close enough to them. But I'll find an animal we can test it on. But yeah, there's going to be quite a few things I think that we can come up to in order to use them. So maybe I'll go over a few of them too. Oh, by the way, I did try to place the tripod on the Jeep. Yeah, you can't, but just for fun. Oh, but you can place it in the water up to a certain point. So that's also something good to know. I'm going to try and get close to these goats. I did a little fast travel here. And the sound of river here should block the noise because of this hill here should block the noise. So I'm wondering if I can get close enough. Yeah, they're going to hear me now. And I just want to show what I think is a bug. You guys alerted? No, they're still calm. So I'm going to get the stand out. And let's see if I can get close enough. I think Oh, unusable terrain's not going to help. But I think it'll give me the air anyways. Yeah, see, they're alerted. So I might be able to sneak in close enough here to see if I can place that stand nice and close. So their head just went down. I'll give them a second for that alert meter to deplete. I'm almost there. Close as 160 meters or so. Problem is, even a hiker, the feral goats are fairly sensitive. Oh, they seem to be letting me get there as the alert. Gonna try and sneak in a bit more. I don't think it'll let me place to the unsuitable terrain. Okay, so it's gonna let me place there, so I'm not close enough yet. These guys, they might let me go right in. Like it might ignore that 50-meter limit. That's what I'm finding on some of the animals. Animals like chamois. I might have tested these goats before. Do not trigger that limit. So you don't have to... It's not like it'll happen very often anyways. But just something to point out. So I should be within that 50-meter mark now, but they're going to start getting mad at me and take off here. See, he's 50. I could make a mad dash for it and see with the little thing on here to see if we can place it in there, because they're going to get kind of far away. But we'll give them a second, then we'll squeak in a little bit more. I think I'm there now. But yeah, it's gonna, yeah, they're alerted again. But I think I'm within the 50 meters now. Am I within 50 meters the closest one? Yeah, see, I'm 46. See, I don't think these guys are gonna trigger the limitation that you're too close to an animal. Yeah, see, these guys, look how close these guys are. These guys got pretty close. Oh, no, they're 48. Here, I'm gonna make a mad dash with it open. Because you can place it here. And then if I... Oh, you can't go fast with it. Okay, when you've got it in the place mode, you can't jog. There you go. Oh, okay. But it would give you... See, there's one right there. Right. Yeah, it's going to let me place it. And that one was about 37 or something out. So that's what I wanted to try and show. You can check it out for yourself if you'd like. I don't know what in the game is stating which animals you can place them close to and which ones you cannot. I mean, it's not going to be a big thing because they're not really going to be running up to them, but it is kind of funny to do. So maybe I will try and set up a scenario where I can just plop one right down. I was doing it before. What you can do is you can go to, like, say, a drink zone and wait for them to come in. Because chamois and goats all drink here. And then when you're like sitting 20 meters out, you can just plop a tripod stand and they don't even care. And then you jump in it. So that's a thing. I think it's a bug because some animals it'll let you do it and some animals it won't. And there's no rhyme or reason that I can sort of figure it out because it's not tier. It's not tier based because like a mule deer or like whitetail deers. Actually, I haven't tested the whitetail deer on this map, but I did test the mule deer. I think I did do whitetail mule deer on Nez. You cannot place it within 50 meters. But here, chamois and those goats, you can. So, but they're both tier 5, so it's not tier related. And then the small game, it doesn't care about at all. If you have rabbits or anything like that, you can place the tripod right on their heads, basically. Yeah, so I think that is most of the info. I just want to set up that one scenario there. See if I can do it or not, where I can place like a tripod right beside something. So this is perfect. There's an often hard drink zone here, along with a chamois one. And they're both often. So I'm going to wait here, because about half an hour they should be here. So we'll see if we can hide, and then plop the tripod stand out on them. And I guess while I'm here, we can just use this water spot. See how far we can put this in. Yeah, so you can go fairly far. Oh, now it's just not letting me walk in the water anymore. Yeah, we'll throw it in there. And then E, can I get there? Yep. Perfect. So he can be a little ways out anyways. Not sure what much of an advantage that is though. And now I can't get out. Oh! Hey, we figured out a way to get out of the stand, but stay on top of it. Oh, okay. I haven't been able to do this yet. Oh! No, now I need to go into camera mode. And see, there we go. Look at that. Oh, I should have used that for the thumbnail. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to screenshot it, though. Alright, I like it too much. I'll turn this into the thumbnail. I'll leave the start of the video with the hatless river. So see what I was saying about thinking outside the box? Trying to figure out what to... How can we use this? Not actually sure. But it could make for some funny screenshots, I suppose. Can we get off of here with... Oh, I thought maybe we were done for there. Oh, and the bag's under the water. Oh yeah, see, I can't. I'm stuck. Go no! So we can climb back up. Maybe we'll do a... Maybe we'll have to do a big jump, running jump off of here. Back up. And jump. There we go. And then, oh no, the tripod is lost forever. We could just do the thing here, go here, and take down. So there. So I'll wait here just a moment longer because the video's already past 20 minutes. I was trying to think of what else there is to the tripods because I keep thinking I'm missing something. But I don't think I am. There isn't really that much to them. The rest of it's just going to be experimenting to see what we can make use of them with. So it's getting on 11. I'll see if anything pops up. If not, then you just have to take my word for it, really. Well, those tar were kind of a good example. That some animals you don't have to worry about the 50-meter limit, and some you do. The game will just tell you, and they'll probably patch it and fix it up anyways. But yeah, so as far as like strategies with the tripod, most people, I think, they're just gonna probably walk around with it if they use them at all. And then when they see an animal just over the hill or something like that, or they just need a little bit more boost, they'll take the tripod out, place it down, take their shot, and then you can pick it back up again. I think that's how it'll mostly be used. But a lot of people will probably also place them around the map in strategic locations. That's what I think is going to be the most fun. I'm also going to be using them to mark spots that I especially like. So I'll leave the map. You know, I'll go to like Aurora Shores, and then when I'm there, I'll maybe use a tripod to mark a location. Because if I don't go back to Aurora Shores for a while, I forget, you know, what I was doing or something like that. And you can do things like, you know, here's this. I don't have much zones for that elk. Who do I have a lot of zones for? Probably not much, because I was just doing, yeah, here. You can do things by, like, placing a stand here and here and here, and, you know, have a stand on all their zones, like if you really want to target that herd or something like that. Or I was thinking of following their game trails and finding a spot where a lot of game trails meet, and putting a stand there and marking that location. Now, things like that. You can use these tripods as sort of like permanent little red markers like that, right? They're just something that you can use to place on your map and then mark, you know, just specific or important spots. You know, little things that they can be handy for. Oh, and apparently in multiplayer, I guess I haven't actually tested this one out. One of the community managers said you can use them in multiplayer. And I guess, I don't think it was 100% confirmed, like 90% confirmed or something, that I guess visitors on the multiplayer server can place the tripod stands, but they can't interact with them. Only the host can sit on them, which I thought was kind of odd. But apparently that's the case. I don't know how these will play out in multiplayer, but that is the official word as of the time of this recording, that anybody in a multiplayer server can place a stand, but only the host can sit in it, which I thought was kind of weird, but that's the only other info I can think of. Well, I guess we'll test it with this chamois. It's a solo chamois. And the tower don't seem to be here. Ignoring their often drink zone. It should be like a dozen tower that come in here. Oh well. We're back at the other lake. I didn't think... Is chamois solo on the Transylvania? I didn't think there were any solo chamois there. Anyways, there's definitely solo ones here. And I should be able to get close enough to him here. He's stomping his hoof there. So he's at 37 meters. And I suspect... Yeah, I can place it. So he's a tier 5. But other tier 5s you can't. But he can. And it's not just solo animals, yeah, because the tar before. But yeah, so it's just kind of weird. Keep a little heads up on it. We'll probably patch it. I imagine it's something that was just missed. But that's the only bug I can think so far with him. See, so he's at... Gonna be at 25 meters. We can try and alert him. Here, we'll plop it down. Yeah, so he's gonna be really close. And we'll see if we can sit it on top of him. Oh, he's coming right in. Let's see here. See if we can harvest him with the tripod. Oh no, he's not gonna get close enough. Take this. Oh, look at that. Spooked him. So there, if you wanted to know if you could spook him for sure with the tripod, boom, there you go. If you almost sit it on top of him. I think he was alerted because he saw me, and then this tipped him over. So if anyone says you can't spook him with a tripod, well, currently you can. You just need special circumstances, I guess. So it's kind of fun. But I think I'll leave it at that. I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, there's something else something else I was supposed to say, but I can't think of it. So if I've forgotten it, we'll come back to it, I suppose. And I'll be doing lots of videos on this anyways. But hopefully that was helpful. And hopefully everybody's enjoying Matariki here in New Zealand. And let me know what you're making out with the tripods, or if there's anything exciting that you're doing with them, or something that I missed. Because if I did miss something, put it in the comments and I'll come back to it. So thanks very much for watching, everybody. Take care. See you next time.